Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. No, Thursday. I'm so used to doing these on Tuesdays. Happy Thursday. And it's a very special Thursday because this is the last time we're going to talk about the book before it hits the shelves. And I'm really excited. I wanted to have a special person join me for this book chat. And she has a very busy schedule. So she was finally able to fit us into her schedule. No, it's not Oprah. It's someone even cooler. Please welcome my mom. Careful, we're on a rocker.
Okay, let's not go over.
We
Hi,
could
everybody.
rock the whole time. Here, I was giving Mom a tutorial on the ring light just before
It's a
we
cool
started.
ring light. Mm-hmm.
So this is a really special week coming up. I had no idea that I would ever grow up to write a book, and it's been really special to share with you.
I didn't know he would ever grow up to write a book either.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so glad that you have.
And you got a very early look at the book,
I did.
and we read very different types of books, but you finished it very quickly.
Two days. Very quickly. And now I'm 3/4 of the way through it in hardcover because I read it on my phone
Oh my
last
gosh,
time.
yeah, that's before we had digital copies. I sent it to Mom just in a PDF, and she read the whole thing on her cell phone, which is annoying because every time you get a text message, you have to go back and find the page.
Yes. And
that
every
you're
day I had
starting
to go
on.
back and find my spot, but it was well worth it.
I sort of feel like early parts of the book are sort of a testimony to how you raised me and how Dad raised me and the work ethic you instilled in me. And what was, I guess, before everyone gets to read what it's like, what was it like watching me grow up?
In the book or in real life?
Well, do you think it was properly reflected in the book?
Absolutely. Although there were some parts of the book that I wasn't ready for. I mean, as a mom, that you're not ready for. I don't want to ever see my baby in pain or read about him hurting. So there was parts of it that were hard, but most parts of it were, I was just as proud of you reading that book as I am every day when I see you.
Some of the hard parts, I mean, you never want to share those, but I think
No.
part of the reason I wrote about them is because I don't want other people to feel alone. I don't want other people to go through some of those things and feel like they have to keep them locked up inside. And I think part of, my journey to healing and acceptance and everything has been talking to you about the hard stuff, and I'm so lucky to have you.
I'm
and
lucky
Dad.
to have you.
We're
We're so blessed by him.
I'm paying her to say all of it.
Not a penny.
What do you hope people get out of the book?
I want people to learn from your journey that it's okay to be who they are, that it's okay to be happy, that it's okay to love whoever you want to love, and it's okay to be yourself and be proud of who you are.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the crux of the book, right?
I think some people are going to read that book that
Yeah.
are going to walk away from that going, I can do it too. I can be a Chasten.
Oh, I hope so. By the way, if you have a question for Mom, you can drop it in the comments. That's kind of something that I'm really hoping people get out of the book. I mean, I've done a lot of interviews this week, and sometimes people are like, "There's not a lot about Pete in the book." It's like, "Oh my God, give me a break!" It's not all about him.
That's right.
Right? He's right over there. You hear that, Peter? But in a way, it's just sort of my hope that people pick it up and feel a little less alone, and that they see some of those hard things. And I talk a lot about your and Dad's love story in the beginning of the book. I was wondering I've always been fascinated with your love story because you fell in love, you met in high school, you were...
A baby.
You were 16, 17?
16 when I met your dad.
And you were waiting tables, and he was walking to school at that point.
Cooking until about 2 a.m. at a steakhouse. And then he would walk home, and then he'd walk to school the next morning.
And then Grandma was actually very upset with you.
Yes,
because
my mother wasn't happy.
you were using your waitressing tips to buy Dad clothes because he didn't have a lot of clothes in high school.
And shoes, and a winter coat, because he didn't have a winter coat when I met him. Yeah, I proudly put up all my money for him. And now he proudly puts up all of his for me.
I just think that there's a lot to be learned. I wish I could write a whole nother book about your and Dad's story, because I learned so much from you. And I was giving an interview today where someone asked about, when I came out, when it was hard, and when I ran away from home, but I came home, and what that's like to have parents like you and Dad that invests so heavily in relationships and family, and you show up for people. And I think I learned so much of that growing up, even though I was terrified to tell you about who I was. But I think that's part of the reason I came back so fast, was because I just grew up watching two people who loved each other so much. And you and Dad are just so giving and loving. And I wish more people could see that and feel that. When we walked Pride last year, you wore your Proud Mom shirt, and you got to give out
my favorite shirt.
Lots of hugs, which was really cool. Well, it comes with the
I
territory.
want everybody to be as happy as you.
I don't think. Oh yeah, see, our comments weren't scrolling. Look how many people love you, Mom. Oh, what's something about Chasten we don't know that you would like us to know about him? Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. I can't tell your nickname, can I?
No.
No, Jesus. I don't know, because you've told so much of you to the whole world. I don't feel like, other than that nickname, I don't feel like I have anything secret. That's a bummer.
We were going through baby pictures last night for an interview that I did, and they need a lot of baby photos. And
were you not the cutest
I was
thing?
a pretty cute baby.
Oh,
but also
so cute.
Like the joy that we had growing up. There was a lot of joy.
Oh, you're my shopping partner.
That is true. I think I talk about that in the book, that you should always check TJ Maxx first. Your mother
and use coupons.
Coupons, TJ Maxx,
clearance racks.
Yeah, that's how my mom raised me, right? Okay, someone asked you, what's it like to be... Oh, the Seatons are here. I told you about the Seaton family up in New Hampshire. Wave to them. What's it like being so awesome? But seriously, what's it like to be a mom of someone who you've seen, go through the pain and the struggle, and then obviously fall in love? What do you wish other kids... and we talked a bit about this on the trail. What do you wish other kids
I'm going to
would
sound
know?
like you, because I learned this from you on the trail, that it does get better. I want other kids to know that if it's not okay at 16 and it's not okay at 18, somewhere in your journey it's going to be okay. And it might not be okay right away, because it's scary. Chasten's talked about it on the trail. He talks about it in the book. It wasn't that I was sad for him. It wasn't that I was sad for me. I was scared. I think his dad and I both were just terrified. His life now wouldn't be as easy as other kids his age. He would have struggles because he already had them in school. And now I was afraid things were going to get worse. So I want for other kids to know that your hard journey will come to a good point. It might not be as soon as you want, but you'll get there.
And you get to choose your family.
Yes.
Right? Your family's chosen.
Exactly.
And I think you inspired a lot of people out on the campaign trail as well. Mom was a really big cheerleader with Anne. I think I just wish I could share you with all of those kids that I met who didn't have.
You can share me.
Who
I
didn't
share you with
have
all
it.
of this.
That's true. We'll have to bring Mom on Instagram Live more often. I see another mom talking about being really scared for their child, and I think one of the reasons our relationship is so great is that you and Dad were willing to have really hard conversations and ask the tough questions, and that requires both parties to be...
And they're hard to have,
Yeah.
but they're so worth the pain, the bump in the road that you have to go over first. They're so worth it. I wouldn't change anything for the world.
That's probably not true.
That's true.
And you're a very strong person yourself, and that you will get to learn a lot more about Mom in the book. We have another person who's here. Do you want to say hello?
Sure. Hello.
We're all just out on the porch. And Dad's here as well. He's keeping Buddy locked inside because he keeps trying to knock this over. I'm trying to get this so all three of us are in here. It's not going to work.
That's okay.
But it feels really good to be surrounded by people who love you. And part of this book is about finding strength in that journey when there wasn't always this kind of support network and this love in your life. And I hope if you pick up a copy of this book on Tuesday, you feel
Get 2 copies.
you feel a little bit less alone. You feel understood. Hopefully you feel seen. And sometimes the road can be bumpy. Sometimes it can be sticky and hard. And then there are good things in the end. And it's been a pleasure sharing this with all of you. And thank you for all of your help. And now I get to share it with all of you on Tuesday. See, you have a lot of fans, Mom.
Well, that's good. I love them all.
Well, thank you everyone for joining these past, it was like 8 weeks or something that we've been doing this. I don't know. Thanks for coming along on the ride. Stay tuned. The next couple of days, going to be announcing some cool things about the book that you'll want to follow along, as well as announcing the book tour dates where you can join us virtually. Unfortunately, they're all virtual, but that's making sure that everyone is safe. And you can still get a signed copy of the book. You have a book coming out too. We've been signing book plates.
Yeah, you haven't signed one for me though yet.
Okay, well that's all of our time. Thank you, everyone. You can pick up a copy of I Have Something to Tell You on Tuesday. If you didn't pre-order it, please consider using bookshop.org to support your local bookstore. They really need your support right now. And the best thing is you might not even know you have a local bookstore in your community. You can find one. Otherwise, support one that's back home in your hometown. Or please support some of them that we love, like The Brain Layer, which is a Black female-owned small business in South Bend, or Brilliant Books, or Horizon Books here in Traverse City. And I really, really appreciate all of your support. Mom, I love you. Peter, I love you. Thanks for being along on the trip. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. There's nothing happening on television tonight, so your whole evening is free. All right, take care.
Order your book.
All righty. All right, bye-bye.